Hello everyone, welcome to the Hisui podcast. I'm Wolf Tycho and I'm here with King Ray 5 and Nurse Eevee.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So yeah, today we have two major topics we're going to talk about because I didn't know that the Eevee Expo 4 was going to come out 3 days ago as of recording. So we're also going to be talking about that, and we're going to start off the episode about that. But we are going to get to Pokemon Supernova the second half of the episode, so don't worry. We are still talking about that. But before we get into like any major Pokemon fan game stuff, something I do want to say, because it's kind of a big thing that's happened recently, I am now done with all my high school classes.
Hey.
And I ended up with A's in all of them.
God
Oh,
damn.
hell yeah.
Fuck the senior slide.
No, literally, I'm so surprised because at the beginning of the semester, I was like, Mom, I am ready to have a B in a class. Like, do not be surprised. Like, I am expecting that. And then all of my grades are 97, except for one class that I had a 91.
Bruh. Okay.
So that did not happen.
Nice job.
But yeah, graduation still hasn't officially happened yet. That's happening this Saturday.
Nice.
But all classes are like done. It was funny. I woke up this morning because it's a Thursday, and my mom came into the room about when she would wake me up for school because my fan was still on. She was just like turning it off, and my brain was just like, "Do I have school today? Do I not have school today? Do I have school today?" Like, it just could not make sense of what was going on. But yeah, so that's happened. A cool thing that's happened, like, with Pokemon fan games, I mentioned it on the podcast before, but Pokemon Gamma Emerald came out, which is like a... Damn, I always forget the frickin' name of, like... Octopath Traveler, that's it. It's like a very similar visual style to Octopath Traveler.
This is like... This game is amazing.
They also worked on, what was it? Project Eden's Garden, which we also talked about on the podcast.
Oh shit, okay.
Oh, okay. I have a better expectation of this game then, because it was this game has been described to me by a couple of friends who said something like, this looks like it was a game that was made by because I think, weren't they a solo dev?
For Gamma Emerald, maybe?
I think so.
Either solo dev or like one person helped with a couple things, but it was mainly one person.
Because I think I saw someone say something like, this looks like if this was just done by a programmer, there wasn't as much of an art, like there wasn't an artist or much art behind it. So I was a little confused by that.
I'm also confused just off the premise of Pokemon in, like, Octopath Traveler style, being like, oh, it doesn't look like there's much, like, cool art behind it. I'm like, I mean, more so than most fan games, just off of that alone, but okay.
Yeah, I like... This... I don't know how much I've said this, like... outwardly on the internet, but I talked to a lot of my friends about this, and I am like a true believer in like Pokemon going back to like 2D, and I have always been like, oh, it would be so cool if Pokemon looked like Octopath Traveler, and now we have a fan game that looks like Octopath Traveler, just like with mostly like reused assets, kind of, right?
Yeah, except for like probably custom 3D models, but
yeah, but like, and it looks so good. Can you imagine, like, remember what like Black and White looks like, and taking it to like that next level? Like, I really wish they would have done that. And I think the other thing that I noticed about this game is I think it's getting like hella like, I don't want to use this term offensively, but it's getting a lot of like normie like support awareness, because like I've seen it be advertised on TikTok a ton. It's come up on my TikTok feed a ton. Now my TikTok For You page doesn't really have to do with a lot of Pokemon, does not have to do with a lot of fan games at all, but this has been showing up on my For You page all the time. So
oh yeah,
I like I think there are a lot of people who might be like kind of getting into fan games from this game.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I mean, like the game itself looks incredible. I'm super excited to play it at some point.
EP, I think with your comment about like having people say it doesn't sound like there was much of an like artist on the team. With Project Eden's Garden, they were specifically the 3D lead, so I think like they may be commenting more about the pixel art of the game, and that may not be as polished looking
Okay.
compared to like the 3D models.
Mm-hmm.
I could.
Those are very
that's like
different skill sets, which
Yeah.
that would make sense.
so that's why like that may be what they're getting. I haven't played it, so I don't know. But
Yeah, I haven't gotten to play it yet either.
if I had to guess, that's what I would guess.
Yeah. I guess I'll just have to play it myself and find out, put it on the list of extra games that I've got to play. After the Eevee Expo just added like another 15.
Yeah, speaking of the Eevee Expo, that's a nice
11.
segue to get
Thank you.
into
Very nice segue.
into the presentation. Which I have it pulled up here, so we can just like go through each of the trailers and just say our thoughts, because I think all three of us have seen it. I know me and
like-
Kane have seen it,
like-
I was
but
about to say, Kate and I were there live. Were you there?
not live. But I did a whole live stream reacting to it.
I'm literally part of the expo. Do you know how
Yeah.
many times I've seen these trailers? Like, do you know how many times we've given feedback on these trailers and be like, hey, do you like maybe want to like change this or that? Like,
Wait, you gave feedback to them?
for some trailers we did, yeah. Some trailers
Okay.
specifically also like ask for feedback, and like I do want to say like
Gotcha.
come out and say this like publicly. We said this to a lot of the devs. This batch of trailers were so good, so good. I think in my opinion they dwarf every other expo in terms of trailer quality.
1,000,000%.
And
Oh yeah,
like
I really
a
like
lot
this
of them
expo.
a lot of them were like great right off the bat too, and like there more like multiple times where games were like, hey, like, do you have feedback on our trailer, do you want us to change anything? We were like, no, it's great. Like,
I know one trailer that changed a good bit throughout time, but I mean we can get into that later. I mean, I guess isn't that much of a spoiler? You guys probably know, like watching, a game that I'm working on, Tokidoki Pokemon Club, had a trailer for the expo. And I guess for like general expo thoughts, it's very hard to have almost an unbiased view of the expo, just because like I was a part of kind of seeing it progress, and I think we can talk about something just because people talked about it in like my live chat, so based off that I'm assuming I can talk about this. There was a little bit of development hell throughout the expo.
yeah, I mean, look, I
think it's a little
I would
obvious when
say-
watching it, but I also know what to look for.
I would say, well, yeah, I mean, I think there were very blatant clues that were like, oh, hey, like, this expo should have been released
Should have come out in December.
2024 at some point, and it came out in May, and like from my perspective, I think like all of the games who are part of an expo just get like A's, and I feel like the expo team ourselves, we need to have like a good hard look at our process. But I'm not going to talk about that a ton, but like
Of course.
we wanted to deliver something that really iterated on the expo and really improved it, and we were able to make some improvements, but at the end of the day, like, it was nowhere near where we like wanted it to be. But that doesn't change the fact that the trailers themselves were amazing. So
Yeah, like one noticeable improvement, at least that like came out to me, was like the interview, because I knew that people were just annoyed that like people wanted to see the trailers, and I don't think that people entirely minded interviews in general, but just that maybe they went on a bit long. Where I don't feel like it went on too long this time, and if you want to see the full interview, that'll be posted separately.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think with that, that would like, because we see the like YouTube analytics and stuff, and interviews are the one analytically part. Like people might not comment on it or whatever, but analytically, interviews are the least popular part of the expo. Which, like, I understand there's a lot of people who are just there to see fan game trailers. They're not here to learn about the behind the scenes of an engine or conversations with developers. So we wanted to like have more of a trailer. I think in previous expos we've had interviews like edited down to like 4 minutes, whereas here we were specifically like, okay, we're making a trailer for the interview that is no longer than 90 seconds, and that's what we did. And I know it was less than 90 seconds because I edited the audio for that interview. But yeah, and I mean, it's always great when you can drop like, hey, this dev, by the way, former Riot EA Blizzard dev, who also just made a Pokemon fan game that's called the Dark Souls of Pokemon. Like, do you know how many keywords you just dropped in there? Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
That's how
it's
you
so
do it.
free. It's so free.
Yeah, that's why I was a little disappointed because I felt like they didn't talk a lot, and I was like, no, I want to hear more about like, especially their connection to like the actual game like dev industry, and that didn't really get touched upon in the trailer version, and so that's why. Has the full version come out yet?
No, it has not. It is being worked on actively though. We're actually releasing the interview this time, not just.
What?
I don't know.
I hope so.
Having it lost to the sands of time. What and like as like I listened to that interview once through, and there was a lot of conversation because the two interviewees or interviewers, not interviewees, excuse me, were Lux and Chase, who are looking to go into the game development industry professionally, and
Hell yeah.
so there was a lot of good conversation, but I felt editing down that interview that there wasn't like there's not a ton of room for that. The room is okay, let's talk about game development in the context of Salt and Shadow, and let's also use that as like a hook for people to go and play Salt and Shadow more. And that was kind of the goal that I set out to get with that trailer, and I think it kind of achieved that goal.
Yeah. I think the only little criticism I would give is it may have not been too clear that it was a trailer for the interview. And that there was, like, I can see someone missing the fact that there would be a full version elsewhere.
Yeah, because I also had the...
That would be, like, the only nitpicky thing I would say.
I had the little, I think we had it in the script. Yo, because I did that part of the script. I think we dropped take a look at the teaser at the very end, but maybe the audio is fading out or something.
Maybe. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna take forever if we don't even get into the trailers now. So the first trailer that showed up was Pokemon Peach and Lime, which is a ROM hack, and that's another thing. There were a good bit of ROM hacks in this, which I appreciate because I don't really hear much from that scene. I think it looks visually good. I wish there was another aspect to the visuals, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Say it.
Fine.
Say what it is.
No, it was so funny. While live streaming, you're right, Tom's not here. But yeah, while live streaming to the expo, I had a counter in the top right corner of each game, like the amount of games that had overworld shadows.
Oh my god.
Just as I was going. Because the thing was, last year, when I did like an expo reaction stream, I had like a bingo going. I obviously couldn't do that this time because I knew some of the games that were like, you know, going to be in the expo, and that would just be like disingenuous. So I'm like, what can I do that would be fun and transformative, and not just me sitting here watching the expo and like give a thumbs up and be like, looks good. So I did the overall shadow counter.
I love that.
Yeah. So Peach and Lime, the only other thing that I would say other than overworld shadows is for the little bit of indoor maps we see look a little like too open and big for no reason. That'd be the other thing I would say, but I mean, that's it.
I do just want to like drop in here with Peach and Lime. We've had a lot of like conversation with their devs, and that game, since the trailer was submitted to us, and in between that period and then when the expo aired, their game supposedly has changed a ton.
Yeah.
And I think
Actually, wait, I'm in there just
considering that, that's pretty insane, because
True.
that I think that like graphically, like we can nitpick the maps or the indoor maps or the overworld shadows, but I think graphically this is probably one of like the cleanest games graphically that I've seen in a while. And I think that it's going to be like, if they made improvements upon that, they've iterated again and again, I'm really excited to see what that game can become.
Yeah, I'm on the Starfall team, so I kind of have gotten spoiled lately of like good-looking fan games.
There's also like, I do also want to drop, we've got one of the long time like behind the scenes goats of the fan game community that I don't think has gotten a ton of love until very recently, but I like, when I joined like years, like 2015 years ago, like that's how long it was. This dude, I was working with him on some project, I don't remember what it was, but Alpha Remaster is amazing at music, and they're, I believe, the lead dev on this game. So I'm very, very excited, and I trust them a lot to deliver a really good game.
very nice.
Nice. It also was the trailer that, like, the independent video easily did the best.
Yeah.
Just, like, not even close. It's at 137,000 views, I think, at the moment.
Let me pull up the stats real quick.
It's at a stupid amount of views, I know that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. 137K. While
Yep.
most games are like, I see Pisces got 2.2K.
Hey, let's not name drop too many at the moment.
Yeah. I'm not gonna name too many. Like Pisces is out, and not as but a lot of these are like at least like roughly 500 views, except for
Some 1,000, yeah.
a couple of them have hit like 1.2, 6.7, but that game's been out for a really long time.
Yeah.
1.5, 2.7, but that one's also got like a lot of history behind it as well. And then the one with 4.2K is the one that like I know I was shitting my pants over.
We'll get to that trailer.
We'll get to it.
No, there's one trailer that did better than I thought, but again, we'll get to that. But yeah, Peach and Lime overall, I think we all think thumbs up. I don't know if I'll play it when it comes out, because
Playing it.
Oh, this is
I just don't
definitely-
play many fan games.
Yeah. I think also from like, because I feel like I'm in a very interesting position because I know all the behind the scenes. This was the freest opener ever. Like, we were all like, okay, so Peach and Lime is opening, right? And there was no discussion
That's fair.
because everybody
love
knew
that.
Peach and Lime was the perfect opening trailer. It's so rare when you like are gifted a perfect opener or closer like in your lap.
Yeah.
And we were with Peach and Lime.
But yeah, the next game, I don't know much about, but it's Pokemon Blooming Beast.
Yeah.
Trying to look back over the trailer
So-
and remember what, like, caught my eye about it.
So this is a really interesting game. This was in Expo 2, I think as like a sizzle reel game. And this game is now almost complete, I believe. Their next release is going to be their final one from my understanding. And this game has really improved over those 2 years, in my opinion. There's the big gimmick with this game is like branching dialogue and you know, the more time you put into the dialogue, the more information that you get. Kind of like Ash and Frost a little bit. And also like they've added some Fakemon. I just think everything's gotten a lot more polished. Also like Ash and Frost, because I believe you are playing as a detective.
It does say in the trailer, like, reimagined whodunit mystery.
Yeah.
And instead of 8 gym leaders, I think it says 8 suspects.
8 suspects.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting.
And
This is a game.
over 400 character portraits.
Yeah, this game has had a lot of blood, sweat, and tears put into it as well.
I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Overall,
developers
the
also
trailer?
like great.
Right, there was also like normal mode, hard mode, and like that thing. That also looked cool.
Yeah.
Like overall, I don't know. I think like the main thing that would like make it or break it for me is like the story. And since I haven't played it or like know much of the execution of it, I can't judge it too much off the trailer.
Yeah, it's a very story-based
Other
game.
than I'm intrigued by the trailer, but I mean that's all I can really say. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
The next one really intrigued me, Pokemon Duelist.
Any TCG fans? any trading card? Any card game fans? This game's really cool. I really
Yeah. I've watched someone play the demo of how this game is. It wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. I understand and like the concept behind it. I think that it's definitely something different, especially like it's taking that more TCG aspect and turn like they're still keeping it's different.
That's
in a very good way that it's different, but it's a little confusing because especially like I don't know.
For me with the trailer, it's like I see like the main differences is just like the throwing animation now being like throwing a card out, and I'm just sitting here curious like I mean what other differences come from it now being like cards instead of like Pokemon and Pokeballs.
I think there's a good amount of differences that I don't quite. I'm trying to remember. But this game
you
like
don't have your regular routes. It is like did you ever play the Game Boy TCG game?
Nope.
No? Okay. It's got some of those aspects to it, where there's not really any exploration. It looks like you just kind of follow the story and go from place to place. The Pokemon aspect is shown as Pokemon battles that we are used to in the video games, but is supposed to be portrayed with with trading cards, kind of.
Yeah.
And when you open a booster pack, you go into like that's essentially you exploring a route for a moment.
Okay.
So you've got like your booster cards that you get are your like 3 to 5 encounters that you're going to get on a route. And that's how you level up your Pokemon or you catch new Pokemon is opening booster packs.
I don't know. I guess like overall, I would have wished the trailer to explore a little bit more of those differences then that would come with the gameplay.
Fair.
But it also looks like they only had a minute to make the trailer, so it'd be a little hard to do that. Yeah, overall, good. Very intriguing.
I think this is a very unique game, and the uniqueness.
Oh, yeah.
I think in terms of being a part of the Eevee Expo is a bigger deal than I think a lot of people think. For my opinion, we're a lot more inclined to include a unique
Normal
game
Pokemon
that
stuff.
might not have as much polish compared to a very polished 8-gym game. And another, like I'm not gonna do this for every game, but this I've also had great interactions with this developer as well. They've been very, very responsive to feedback that we had to their game. So I have no doubt in my mind that they're gonna continue to iterate and make this game good.
Oh yeah, I've got high hopes.
After Pokemon Duelist was Pokemon Fuso's Meteor.
Yes.
What was Fuso's Meteor? Oh, right, Bravest Bat and Ecat.
Yeah.
I was very shocked to see Ecat's name there.
This game, I know Kenny will get on a soapbox about this game.
Oh.
But
For
I
a
have
good
more,
reason
like-
or a bad reason?
Oh, for a good reason, I think.
Okay.
I played this game back when it was called Pokemon Meteor 2 in like 2020. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. And it was like it was bad. Like there's Trapped. This game's not that much higher than Trapped when I played it originally, but
What?
yeah. It was
Okay, it was-
Meteor 2. Meteor 2. I'm not talking about Fuso's Meteor.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Come to see this game 4 years later. It looks incredibly polished. From my understanding, the dialogue has improved, and that was a big problem that I had with the game originally. And it just
Was
looks so
Ecat
much
on
more
the team
polished.
originally?
No.
Okay.
But also, like, I give a lot of credit to Bravest Bat. When I played the game originally, they were very and this was also before I kind of knew how to give feedback, so I was a lot more rude in the way I gave my feedback, and they still
There are worse
they still
people.
picked it up, and you know, they've made this game a lot better. I know there are a lot of people who really like this game.
I mean, yeah, I love to see improvement stories like that.
Oh yeah. I don't have too much of a thought really on it, unfortunately, personally, because I know ECAT as a wonderful developer, and visually it looks really good. So I have high hopes for it. I remember seeing it in the past and just kind of glossing it over as just kind of like, especially when I saw it as Meteor 2, I'm like, I'm good. I'll like it'll be in like the back of my mind, and maybe I didn't know that it was that bad. I just kind of like saw it and forgot about it.
Ooh, yeah, I'm looking
And
at
I've known that this
screenshots
has
and
been-
they look like different games.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, honestly, that
So-
intrigued me. I may play that when it comes out in a degree. It also depends on my free time, because I just don't generally play them. The next one, God, even though I saw the presentation like 3 days ago, when I see these names, I'm like, which game was this one again? Pokemon Pisces.
This game is released and complete, and I think is up there for like gonna be one of the best games released this year. You go through home and backwards.
see it.
The game looks beautiful. The fake mine look beautiful. I've streamed this game twice.
Oh, backwards.
You start,
And
in
it's like an
Pacific Log
entirely
or
new
Slakeport?
region. Yeah, you start in Pacific Log. And just very, I don't know, very good game. Very super excited that we were able to have this in the expo.
Yeah.
Nice. The only thing is, I guess, and I mean, this kind of goes broadly with a lot of the trailers, and I mean, mine kind of included. I feel like it doesn't entirely tell me, like, with the thing of, like, starting at Pacific Log and going backwards, I don't remember the trailers saying that.
No,
I
don't
think it says go
does.
through home and backwards.
Oh no, it says challenge the
Oh, yeah?
Hoenn region's gems back to front in your adventure. I'm actively like watching the trailer,
Ah.
so I can.
This trailer. My main memory of this trailer was getting annoyed because the text didn't show up like for very long in a lot of the times, and I found it really hard to read it. Because when I would like almost finish reading it, it's like, oh, the text is gone.
Yeah, that was one of my problems with their trailer when it was as stuff was popping up. I'm like trying to read chat and wanting to interact with chat, but then also like trying to read everything and then it's gone by the time I've processed like the first 3 words of what's
Yeah, that being my only thing, but the next trailer, which even though it was really short, I think it's only like not even a minute, is the Gravelmon trailer, which I think people are honestly kind of sleeping on.
I think people are sleeping on this too, and
I'm
also
sleeping on it.
let me tell you, if you're a Minecraft fan and you're a fan game fan, help this team out. They are like I know there's a little thing at the end of their trailer that says if you want to help out, like reach out to the team. Please reach out to this team. They need more developers. They like really need more developers. So I highly recommend, if you have any experience in anything Minecraft and you enjoy fan games, reach out and you'll be able to learn and kind of develop your own skills with Minecraft. And you'll be able to make some really cool, like implement some really cool like fake mon in Minecraft. You saw the model of Archaeos from Infinity. Like those are the types of really cool things that you could be putting into the game.
Definitely. I mean, just overall, like, really promising, and yeah, I mean, there's not much else for me to say. I think it's a really cool idea, and I'm glad to see it happening.
I'm trying to play just regular ass Cobblemon and I'm overwhelmed as hell. So seeing the addition of all these Pokemon from Xenoverse and Insurgents and Vanguard and Infinity, I'm just like, all right.
Wait, Vanguard is partnered up with it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember Vanguard's name.
Yeah, I'll send you a screenshot of all the games.
There's a lot of games.
There's a lot of games.
Yeah, I remember that. It's like I'm trying to, yeah. Where's Vanguard? Oh, Vanguard is there. I remember, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. The next game on the,
Oh, I was just saying I don't know much about Minecraft though, so I can't talk more about the
that's fair. But yeah, the next game that's on the like trailer list, there's the interview with Salt and Shadow Devs, but we've already talked about that. And there's also just Kane talking. I don't think we need to talk about Kane talking.
We're gonna talk about that segment. If you need to hear about what happened, go watch my stream from the other day. Because I talked about what happened for like 5 to 10 minutes, and I'd like I'll just take this opportunity again to be like, don't be disrespectful, and like I have a larger voice, but I think it's important to realize that the majority of like harassment that takes place is against women. So like, please don't treat my case differently. Like, treat all harassment the same. Just because I have a louder voice in the community doesn't mean like it's only happening to me. It's probably happening a lot more to a lot of lesser known people. So just be aware of that, and please don't be disrespectful. Anyways, continuing on.
Yeah, the next game that has a trailer is Spectrobes of the GBA, which I remember like when that trailer came out, the chat was just like, Spectrobes? When I saw the chat, I didn't know what Spectrobes was.
I still don't.
It's like a Disney
it's a
game.
Disney
I know
property.
that. Yeah.
I'm not really like
basically all
Spectrobes
I
was
know.
the first game that I have in my like list of pinned games from the Eevee Expo as like, because
Wait, which game?
Spectrobes. Like, this is the first one that I have pinned because Peach and Lime don't have an Eevee Expo page right now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first one that I've got that I've got pinned. Like, I'm going to at least look into this more. When is it completed yet?
No, I think there's just a demo. Is there even a demo? It's been a little bit.
I can look. Chapters 1 through 4 are playable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
so it's on the list.
I personally there were some people on the Expo team, and I think Tom also knows about Spectrobes a little bit. So we're not the best people to talk about this, but
No.
there were a lot of people like this. The trailer and I think the game itself looks really, really good, really polished. And I highly recommend this game, even though I don't know anything about Spectrobes as a franchise.
Yeah, the next game, which I also don't know what to comment on too much, is Celia's stupid ROM hack. It seems like it has the first 2 chapters out. But I mean, that's all I know.
This is a super silly game, and
Really?
Yes.
I thought it
yeah,
was serious.
I do recommend this. And if you are terminally online, you may have picked up some little Easter eggs in the trailer. That's all I will say.
I definitely did.
Damn it, now I need to watch it again. What did I miss?
Chapter 3.
Oh
chapter 3
god,
coming
the
soon, and
rice. The freaking rice. With the bakery, of course. DMCA. Anything else?
We love it.
Oh, there's more. Every time you watch the trailer, there's more that you uncover.
I was neither a murder suspect nor
Oh,
a target
there
for
was
an
Yoshi,
international spy
right,
organization,
Yoshi.
but I drove a car down the Jersey Turnpike at my 80 miles per hour. A police officer. Oh, it went too fast.
Oh, yeah, that I don't know what that is.
I should know what that's from, but it's completely blanking on me. A police officer pulled over, asked for my driver's license. He said something.
I just love the Yoshi that they just sneak in there in the Pokedex.
It's
just there for
beautiful.
a split second. And it's like, huh? You didn't see anything.
Nope. Nothing to
But
see.
I will say, so far in the expo, I was getting a little frustrated because the only, we had 2, technically 1 example of Overworld Shadows in all these games, mind you. The technically 2, I mean, I counted Gravelmon as one of them, because there is technically Shadows. That's how much I was being hit in the heart, that I had to count Minecraft.
Damn.
And sadly, the next game also does not have Overworld Shadows, and it's Pokemon Potassium, which from my understanding is a fan game with that's basically has a lot of stuff made from it by community? I don't know how to phrase it.
This is basically YouTube makes a Pokemon fan game.
Yeah.
I
made a joke with the Fakemon submission form, just in every text entry, just put Overworld Shadows in the game, and then the Fakemon design is just big text, put Overworld Shadows in the game. I wonder if that would do anything. Anyways. But no, I mean, generally, cool concept, and also could end up very messy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to say I have faith in the developers that we won't get anything too
Stupid.
to what's the word without just saying clovery?
I don't know what clover is.
Good. Keep it that way. There's obviously potential when you're taking submissions from community members and whatnot that like things could end up poorly, and like we did. I feel like the Expo team, we did our due diligence in making sure that this game has
Enough quality assurance?
yeah. Obviously you can never be 100% sure, but we felt comfortable enough to give it a trailer.
Yeah.
The next trailer, which was another long one, was Postscriptum by Anon Dogsky.
This was my favorite trailer of the entire Expo. I saw it. I saw it, like, upon initial submission, I like fell in love with it. I was like, this is perfect. Like, this is amazing.
I like all the character animations. That was my like standout part of the trailer.
They also got me when it was. If you ever wondered what a traditional RPG, a Metroidvania?
Yeah.
Metroidvania.
No, I don't think they put a V in there. Hold on.
Well, the genre of the game is a Metroidvania.
Okay,
that is a V. Okay, that is a V. That font didn't make it look like a V. A Metroidvania, a visual novel, and a Pokemon game had a baby. It's like, oh, okay, I'm listening. You had me at visual novel.
I know you came to the wrong place.
And then it was like, fuck you. This is not this game.
No, my only thing was just like, well, so what is this game then? And it somewhat told me after that.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be probably like a lot of games by that team. It's gonna be a story game. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also I guess with the trailer you shouldn't assume that like people know the other kind of stuff that you make.
Yeah, well, I still think this trailer does a good job of like keying in
Yeah.
the viewer as to what's going on.
Yeah, overall, I'd say good trailer. So far, I wouldn't say we've had a bad trailer.
Nope.
Like I said, the trailers in this expo are fire.
Yeah, they're keeping the bar really high, and I'm very excited and happy about that, but also just a little bit nervous for like what that could mean for like. Hold on, the trailer was still going as I was talking, and I saw debate a spot in this game. You can debate a signpost.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I forgot that part, and I'm I was thinking something about worried for other developers that are younger baby devs and like, oh, I can never come up and be like this in these cool games. That's what the insert name jam's for.
Yeah, also I'm here, Eevee. What do you mean, huh?
Baby devs as it like not age, but like experience.
I don't know, I guess like for me, I never like felt intimidated by other fan games, but also it probably helps that I don't play many. But yeah, the next one is like one that, I mean, I'm not surprised to hear, because it's in basically every expo. 3D PE, which I think I mean, it looks amazing.
We
The
love
trailer.
3D PE.
I mean, it doesn't really say like you don't see any footage of the actual stuff, but I don't care.
We love 3D PE. The trailers are always fire.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait when the engine comes out.
This is probably my favorite 3D PE trailer. But even though the trailer says the map editor is coming out 2025, on the Discord they said it's coming out 2026 now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There was we may or may not have used the wrong version of the trailer.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
There was a version that said 2026.
Come on,
I think.
Eevee Expo.
Oopsie.
But yeah, I mean, not much else to say. I mean, cool. Nice to see 3D PE still being worked on.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe it'll get that frickin' person in the comment section to shut up about making 3D Pokemon fan games.
Yeah.
True.
Because this is not the first expo that there's been that comment. I don't know if it's the same person each time.
Yeah. There's worse comments
But-
you can make, as we've seen.
True. No, but what was funnier to me is because someone, you know, commented against them. You know, because... Oh no, the reply isn't there anymore.
Oh.
No, so someone said, like, the amount of work that these guys do for free just for passion is incredible. And it's like, yeah, that's fair. And I remember that person replied. I don't know if it's been deleted now, so I won't repeat it then, because it probably did get deleted if it's not here anymore. But I remember their reply was even more stupid. Anyways. Oh my god, I just saw another trailer. This looks like a whole, another comment. This looks like a whole lot of overly angsty
Don't get into
Tumblr
the
slang.
comment section of the Eevee Expo.
I know.
It's never good.
Yeah.
Thank you, and
That's rule
hints of
number
assuming
like,
comments.
Rule number 7 of that should be rule number 7 of the internet. Don't go in the YouTube comment section,
Yeah.
even if it's your own. It's probably a bad idea.
True.
Thank you,
Unless
comments
you know
for
that
the
this is going to be a super wholesome comment section because it's, I don't know, something about a puppy was saved from a river by a cat or something. I don't know. Even then, you're still gonna get freaks.
But yeah, so thank you, comment section, for hints of Hisui for being mostly normal.
Mostly.
Mostly, not always, but you know, mostly. But yeah, the next trailer was time to go fix our normal comment section.
Time to go fix our normal comment section.
Do we need to fix it?
It couldn't hurt.
Okay. But yeah, the next trailer is Carpe Diem, which at the beginning very much mimicked, like the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I love that
Like,
so much.
Great trailer. great
Clearly
game.
not the
You
same
can literally-
thing they're saying.
You can
with
literally
their
play this game
lips.
on itch.io. You don't even have to download anything.
Oh.
It's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Could be cool. I would say, like, you know, maybe during class time, if I wasn't doing anything, I could, like, pull it up. I'm like, oh, right, I don't have class time anymore.
Nope. It's summertime.
Yep.
True. Oh, wait. Okay, the next game. We finally got there. We have Overworld Shadows.
Oh.
It took
we
us
sure
22 minutes. Oh, wait, I mean, we had another one, but it was a Gen 4 game, so I'd be more upset if there wasn't Overworld Shadows. But, like, we finally have a Gen 3 game with Overworld Shadows.
Pokemon Ruckus.
Yes.
Pokemon Ruckus.
Which
This is
Pokemon Ruckus
by-
also does look visually good.
This is by Hukon, who's an OG.
Thank you, Hukon.
An OG. You remember a lot of the early Jam games, Pokemon Jeff? A lot of these early, back when in the old Relic Castle game jams, this guy was winning spotlights back to back.
I don't know much of their work. But I mean, visually it looks good.
I gotta call out a Blulu.
Oh no.
I gotta
you see
call
it?
out a Blulu. They show a screenshot where someone sends out a Geodude.
Oh, with the
and it's
little plant on its
Geodude
head.
with a flower on its head. That's all you did, was you just
And
put
that's
a flower on the head and said, oh, it's a new regional variant or something, right?
I mean, it's better than just recoloring it to blue, in my opinion.
I mean,
not much better,
yeah,
but slightly better.
Yeah, it's something, but it's like... Really?
That's fair. Yeah, overall,
And I promise I
Looks
do
good.
mean this in the most lighthearted way. Like, the rest of this trailer looks really good, and if I'm like... I'm just saying it to be mean. Mean in, like, a lighthearted way, I promise. especially this is a solo dev game.
yeah. And the next game, I believe, is, let me check, also a solo
Coda.
dev team.
Nice.
Pokemon Coda, which we've also talked about on the podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
When the thread initially came up. Looks like another mystery game. It seems like lots of people are very interested in Pokemon fan games that have, like, mysteries in them.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Like, that's a trend I've been seeing a lot lately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
how many
interesting,
were in the
because-
Insurrection Jam?
Too many. Well, not too many. There were a lot, no. Like, almost half, I want to say. Just like a crap ton.
We also made
like,
the game
yeah,
surprise though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that helps.
But yeah, Coda, this game, this dev is super responsive and open to feedback, and I think that their game's gonna continue to improve.
I can't wait for my trailer to come up and you'll just be like, yeah, this dev was terrible, not responsive at all, was not
Yeah.
listening to any feedback. But yeah, I mean,
almost
Coda.
there.
We are. Man, Pokemon Coda looks good.
Yeah.
That's the thing, there are so many like good trailers that I'm like, I don't really know what to like comment on.
Mm-hmm.
Other than, yeah.
Yeah.
Pokemon Beyond DX. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm looking over the trailer again. I still don't. Oh,
let y'all
right, it's
talk about
Pokemon in
this one.
space, I think. Oh?
I think this is the trailer I'm thinking of. Let me check.
Yeah. This is the Pokemon in space.
Yeah.
Or at least with different planets involved somehow?
Yeah, I think. The polish could probably be a bit better. But I don't know how. Like, there's not something that's specifically screaming, oh yeah, this needs to be improved. There's just like something.
Other than the lack of overworld shadows, I'm sure.
Oh, well, that's a gimme.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that just like part of it is just like it's a lot of normal essentials tiles. That could be why he's throwing it off, which there's nothing inherently wrong. But I guess because I see it as more normal, it then just immediately makes it feel unpolished in my mind. I don't know.
I do
But I
like
think
these new
overall-
fonts. I do like these new, like, the fonts that they're using to, like, to say these things that
That's like
I don't,
alien.
that are supposed to look like alien, and then also they use, they use the unknown typing as well
So yeah, that's cool.
in one of the dialogue boxes. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, overall, not much else to say. And then we have Pokemon Lost World Echoes of Eternity, which is another game where I'm like, I feel like the polish could be a little bit higher. There just seems like a mixed, like the tiles are a different generational style than the overworld sprites. On top of that message window, that's from another game, right? I'm not crazy. I feel like I've seen that exact message window before, but I can't like pin it down.
Which message window?
Like the main message window
Yeah.
of just normal
Maybe
text.
Shikari.
Maybe. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking assets from other games. I do it. But it's just like that message window doesn't mix well with the tiles, which doesn't mix well with the overworlds, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys feel any different.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yep.
looking at. I'm going back looking at some of the maps, and I'm seeing like, okay, this grass is a little flat. Like they need to pepper in just a little bit of like texture to the grass.
Or, like, increase the contrast between the
Or-
colors.
Yeah. Or there's one spot that it looks like you're supposed to be going up a up a cliff, and it looks very flat. I think that like
Yeah.
getting the pebbles to look a little bit different here and there would help with.
Wait, but these
giving
tiles
that
are Gen
depth.
3. Confused now.
I don't know.
Don't think about it too hard.
Okay.
I'm not a dev, so I don't. I know bits and pieces here and there.
Man, that'd be like the main thing that stood out to me. There's some nice artwork of some creatures.
That Sceptile that we saw in the trailer is beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. I don't have much else to say unless you guys do.
Nope.
Nope.
No? Alright. So the next game is Pokemon Ageless, which is a Gen 4 Pokemon without overworld shadows, which I take as a cardinal sin. So they better fix that.
I'm interested in the fact that this is a Ho-Oh game. Like when you go on their Eevee Expo page, the picture that
Oh
they show
yeah, there's a little
is-
bit of a Ho-Oh.
is
Yeah.
Ho-Oh with like the heart gold heart, but it's
Yeah.
like corrupted. It's a different it's a red color, and so is like the Pokemon logo is red.
Yeah, if I remember correctly in the
Yeah.
trailer, there are corrupted Pokemon. Yeah, corrupted Pokemon are in the game,
Ooh.
which are interesting.
Oh yeah. I'm
I don't know how
interested
that, like...
I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna explain the corruption, what's caused the corruption, and how X, Y, and
It, like,
Z
weaves into the
happened.
story.
And how especially how Ho-Oh got corrupted.
Yeah. And especially,
Ho-Oh
like, for
is
me,
such a-
what I'm confused... Like, not confused about, curious about, how it differs from just Shadow Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the
That's
name
gonna be a
Corrupted
big
Pokemon, I'm like... That sounds like just Shadow Pokemon. So, like, what about it is different? Why did you make this and not just make a game about Shadow Pokemon?
Yeah.
So, I'm very curious about that. Yeah. Overall, could be interesting.
Yeah. Especially because I want to nerd out just a little bit about the fact that it's Ho-Oh. Like Lugia being corrupted. Okay, there's like they were able to do that in like when you look
XD.
at when you learn more about Lugia, it makes sense. But when you see all of the lore that we have when it comes to Ho-Oh and how it's such a like a Pokemon of like purification and all of the symbolism that goes into Ho-Oh and everything, corrupting Ho-Oh. Like
I think I'd be more
something-
interested if there weren't, like, a lot of other fan games involving Ho-Oh already.
Fair. I've
Would be,
chosen
like,
to
my
ignore
only
most of
thing.
them.
But yeah, the next game is, a game that looks
Oh,
pretty stupid
this
in my
game.
eyes. I think it's the
Oh
one
my
bad
God.
trailer in the whole expo.
Fucking sucks.
I know. Doki Doki Pokemon Club. This,
Yeah.
There are overworld shadows, like, oh, why would you do that?
No, I mean, like, I don't know anything
There
about
was-
DDLC, so I can't comment on it, but I think the game looks polished, and I'm excited for more.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know anything about same boat as Cade. I don't know anything about about Doki Doki to give much of an opinion.
Yes, Eevee, yes.
Disappointed.
Nice.
Disappointed that got into the trailer. Disappointed in you.
No, what Eevee's showing is like in the like gates between like a route and a city. The players
on the
over
roof?
top of it. Yes. It's for a split second, okay? I'll fix
For
it.
just a split second. I'm sorry. I don't know. I can finally feel emotions for the first time in a hot minute lately. That isn't just anxiety. Like today has been the first day that I've been feeling something other than anxiety for like, when was April 26th again?
A long ass
time
time
ago.
ago.
Yes.
Like
So,
over 2 weeks ago.
yeah, so I've been going through it. So, like, today's probably been the first day that I'm breathing and feeling other things, and some of those are, like, mischievous mean.
That's fair.
Be like that.
One thing I knew I wanted to do with the trailer, like, early on, was have the trailer have, like, a sung song. For, like, the trailer song. Because that was something where I'm like, that easily makes it different versus, like, all the other trailers in the Expo that, like, has never really had a song before. At least in my recollection. And I had a feeling no one was gonna do it this Expo either, just knowing the state of how people make their trailers for these kind of things.
You didn't ask me to do the cover.
No, I had a friend who also made it good. There's a version of the trailer song with me singing it. And if you want to watch it, it's in the stream of me reacting to it. I'm not going to play it here. But it's out there in the internet, technically. It will not be there forever. Because streams like VODs do not last forever. But it's there for a little bit.
Make a highlight of it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You can make a highlight of it if you
turn it
wanted
into a
to.
highlight.
I could, but I don't want to. I wanted to get lost in the sands of time. But no, I will. Another thing I'll say, because I remember when Tom reacted to it, he was like wanting a little bit more about like what the story's about. I somewhat kept it vague just because the story is a little bit still in a fluctuant state in development, and I'm not like 100% sure on a lot of the things that I would be able to show. On top of, there is enough, if you watch the trailer and look through it, you can get a better feel from the story than if you just like passively watch it. There are some hints here and there. On top of like the Eevee Expo thread, says a little bit more, I think, from what I remember. But you can still say, yeah, but it's not in the trailer. And it's like, yeah, that's fair. But I don't know. I also really enjoyed like the comment section for the like individual trailer video. I found it very entertaining.
Those have been wild, by the way. What
What,
did
the
we say
comments for
earlier?
that video or just in general?
Never go to the YouTube comments.
Oh no.
Yeah? And these are good comments.
That's good.
But most of like the reaction I've seen with like, especially in the live chat when the stream was going on, was just like, what the hell? Just kind of like being taken aback.
Yeah, not something like, it's definitely not a franchise that a whole lot of people would expect to cross over as well as you have made it so far.
And like that's what like I really like projects that don't seem obvious at first. Those are the ones that are like most interesting to me, and so that's why I'm kind of happy just everyone should be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean overall, I don't have much to say because it's my own trailer, but I think it's good. It's better than I remember when I was making it. I also remember having to go through many iterations. I don't know how many of the iterations Cade actually saw, but I like the one that like got released the best, easily. Yeah, the next part of the expo we're not going to talk about because we've talked about all the games before. It was just the jam segment of the expo.
Oh yeah.
I just enjoyed like hearing them talk about the spotlight jams, especially because Berserk was one of them. Which then led into the Pokemon Covenant trailer, which was a little under a minute, it looks like. Which, I mean, didn't not excite me, didn't excite me. I also haven't played Covenant, so I'll let you guys take the floor.
Yeah, no, this is good. Covenant's
I'm
cooking.
so hyped.
They're cooking.
Oh yes.
The next trailer is one that we have all seen before. The Pokemon HGSS Sevi Islands trailer.
I gotta be
I was
honest.
told it was added the night before.
Yeah, we added this shit. We were joking in the in like the mod admin chat or whatever, and Zaf was like, "Damn, I really want to get that Eevee Expo badge on the forum."
God.
And Ellis was like, "You just want us to put your trailer in?" Because like we would have accepted the trailer. Like it's a good trailer.
Yeah.
And so we threw it in there. I was like, just
That's
throw it in there
great.
somewhere. We're good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, no, it was funny when Emma said that in my stream chat that it was added the night before. I thought it was a joke.
Nope.
Because I literally... Well, because it started off with... Because I made the joke because Zoffrey was watching. I'm like, oh, Zoff, you had no idea this was coming. This was such a surprise. And then Zoff was like, oh, yeah, I was so shocked. And then it eventually led into Endless saying, like, oh, yeah, we didn't even add it till the night before. And so that's what... I thought it was part of the joke. Until, like, a second later, Endless was like, oh, no, I was actually serious.
Yeah.
Dang.
The next trailer I don't remember much more than the, like, Game Boy Advance border to the trailer, but it's Pokemon Decay. Which has some interesting creature designs, is the main thing that's, like, coming out to
Yeah.
me from this trailer.
This game is, I fear this is one of those games that's going to get lost in the hype of other unique Expo trailers. Like, this is a good game. This is a really good game. I just fear it might get overshadowed by more unique or more, like, hyped games. But this is a really cool game that I think people should check out when it does release.
Definitely. At least, like, the individual video on Eevee Expo's YouTube does have 1.5k views, so
Sure.
it's getting some views. It is getting some acknowledgement,
That's good.
especially like Pisces only got 2.2.
Yeah.
Well, Pisces
And
was
somehow
also
Doki
uploaded
Doki got 1.2. Somehow.
Pisces uploaded their trailer elsewhere too before.
Okay, that does change it a little bit.
How much did it get there?
That's something I don't know.
Unsure.
I didn't know. I didn't know they had their own. I don't know how to even. I don't know the dev.
Yeah. No, but like
Well,
with
but I
the
just don't know
trailer
that one.
view counts, I will say like the Doki Doki trailer view count kind of surprised me because it is on the upper end there when it comes to like trailer view counts. I mean, it has more than 3D PE, Gravelmon, Spectrobes, Duelist, Fuso's Meteor, Blooming Beast, Potassium, Cilia, Stupid ROM Hack, etc., etc. Which I wasn't expecting. I mean, I would be fine if it did well, but I was also just like, I didn't know how much hype there would be for DDLC X Pokemon. Anyways, the next trailer looks to be a game that Eevee still has to play. Cough, cough.
We'll see. And by that, I like.
You
okay, I
have to let go
genuinely-
of this grudge. It's unhealthy.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. My beef with any individual developer is my beef to have that I stand firm on.
All right.
I also don't remember when this is supposed to be releasing, or else I'd be more.
I mean, the base game is already out.
Yeah, but now I want to wait for the DLC to come out.
It's fine if you just play the base game.
But I want to wait until the DLC comes out.
Fine. No, I already knew about this trailer before I saw it, so it wasn't like a shock to me like it was for a lot of other people who didn't know a DLC was being made. But I mean, it looks like it's continuing to do what worked really well with Glacial Chronicles originally and just expanding on it. And I'm excited for that. I'll
Yeah,
definitely play it whenever it comes out.
I'm genuinely rooting for this game, even if I have beef with the developer.
The next
I'll be
game,
open about my beef.
which we only have like 3 more trailers left, and we've been talking about the expo for a while, so we'll probably go through these a little bit more quicker. Pokemon Source 2, which is a continuation of other games that I haven't played, so I can't really comment too much.
Yeah, that's
Other
my problem.
than-
Is I haven't played the other games either.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was hoping you had.
if you've played Vitroverse games, you're familiar with the continuation of like the story, and if not, you're kind of a little clueless. However, what I will say is the games are always super polished, so definitely like
Okay.
like I would play that universe of games given the opportunity. I just like there's not enough time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that. The next trailer is one that I feel a little conflicted on. It's the Pokemon Umbra trailer, because it looks really pretty. It's really nice. But on the other hand, I wish I saw a little bit more of the actual game.
That's fair.
It's a teaser for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also feel like it's one of those games that it's like it's been in development for a while.
Yeah.
And so if it was like earlier on in development, I'd be fine with kind of just a general like, ooh, it's a game that's kind of existing teaser. But I feel like most people know it exists. And so I would want a little bit more of like a substantial bite into it. But I don't know.
that is
That's
fair.
like, yeah.
I can only speak from the bits and pieces of my knowledge as actually someone who hold on, I need to check my list of NDAs real quick.
Oh god. But yeah, the like logo reveal animation looks really clean.
This
I
this
mean,
game is
everything
super
looks
hype.
really clean.
This game is super hype, and it's I don't know. I have an inkling of a feeling that it's getting closer and closer to having a demo released.
Mm-hmm.
I just that's kind of what my gut's telling me.
Same here. And that's also somewhat why I'm like, we could have had a more substantial trailer if we are closer, but I also don't know what the development pipeline looks like right now for the game. And the next teaser is probably the most shocking and not really, like, we don't really know that much about compared to the other trailers, and that is the Eevee Expo, the awards show announcement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, can you want to tell us anything about that?
Let us cook. That's what I have to say.
Okay.
This is.
I don't know who's winning the best anti award of the community, though. I think it'll be a tough competition.
I don't know. Well, I guess this trailer is all you have. I don't know how much I want to say, but this is kind of a passion project of a few people on the team, and I very much trust the vision, and like as is with anything the Eevee Expo, I'll help out as much as I can, but this has been a passion project, and I think those few members of the staff are gonna kind of just see it out mostly, but I very much trust the vision, and I'm very excited to see what this ends up becoming.
I just have one question.
What is that question?
Will there be actual physical tangible like trophies like what they showed in the demo or in the teaser?
I can neither confirm or deny that statement. I will become a
developer if that means that I can get a cool Eevee Expo trophy.
I can neither confirm or deny that statement.
I just now realized the post that they made back in March. The post they made back in March was teasing the award show, not the I was assuming it was teasing what was it? The challenge of the week thing.
Itself. Oh.
No. Because challenge of the week was announced shortly after, I think. Yeah, March 23rd, and the post was March 14th for the teaser.
Gotta keep y'all guessing.
So know that.
Don't blame you.
Yeah. Yeah, that is all of the Eevee Expo trailers. I guess for like wrapping up thoughts, was there any trailers that stood out for you guys specifically?
I already mentioned that the postscriptum trailer is my favorite, but I'll reiterate that all the trailers in this expo were really, really good. The bar is so much higher now. Like if you look back to like Expo 1, I think just in general the expos continue to get better production quality, and don't go back and look at Expo 1, like please. Like there's games in there that shouldn't be there. I went back and looked at myself as a host. I was like, holy shit, I've changed. Like I hadn't even embraced the fact that I had curly hair at that time. Like it was bad. And as we've continued, the trailers have continued to improve. We've continued to improve, and I hope that we can keep doing this.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Alright. Now that that's out of the way, it's time to start talking about the Insert Name Jam games, starting with Pokemon Supernova, which Eevee hasn't finished, but has played enough that, there's not much that we would talk about that would be spoilers anyway.
No, from what y'all have told me, I've played through a good 80%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let generally. I guess we'll start with the positives. I really like, if you look at the dialogue and just at the words they're saying in the characterization, I love the personality of the characters. It's really fun to their interactions and their dialogue, which is, in my opinion, the harder part of writing. When I wish on the same, on the other side of the coin, I wish the grammar was a little bit better. There's a lot of missing spaces where there should be spaces, or mainly that. Colons.
I so much agree with this. I feel like the dev has a very clear vision with what they want to do with this story, and I think that the sentiments and the dynamics and whatnot, that's there. Truly
which is impressive, because that's the hard part.
The hard part is there. I just think this probably just needed one more proofread, and it'd probably be fine.
Maybe
Like I can excuse a few grammar errors. We all have it, but it was at a point where I feel like it probably wasn't proofed at all, maybe even. So it also felt like maybe, I don't know, this is just my guess, maybe they were writing the dialogue like in RMXP, which is like,
I don't think they
I
did, because there were cases where like the Google Docs ... was used, and then also the not special character ... was used, like period.
Maybe not then, I don't know.
But I don't know. Another small thing when it comes to writing, it felt like sometimes a lot of text was in like the same text box, which made dialogue feel like it went on for like a long time, and it was kind of just like ranting over and over and over again, which also made it hard to like understand like, oh, this is the dialogue that is important and that I need to know to get to the next area, because it all kind of like smushed together.
I guess I wasn't really paying attention to that. I didn't notice that much, but
I just remember reading the dialogue and feeling out of breath.
I also like didn't stream this game, so
Yeah, I streamed it, but I don't remember having too much of a problem with like, or at least to me, I didn't notice the dialogue being too rambly, too.
Part of that could also be like I was reading the dialogue box, because the thing is, I have started writing fan games with like message boxes that come out in the pace that it's supposed to be read, which isn't what like this game does, and so I've gotten used to like reading it at the same pace that the message box comes out, because I'm like, okay, this is what the developer wants the like lines to be read out as, and because the game does not do that, it kind of just gives you like a book wall of text, and then it goes, alright, you interpret how it's supposed to be read. I just go, alright, blah 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 blah.
see, I don't think I've ever had that problem. I think I've always like
No, I don't.
So it could just be a me
had
thing,
pacing
but
Rose for a second. Yeah, I read it the way that, I don't know, I just read it the way that I read it. Especially when I'm going between characters, it's like, okay, stop, take a like half beat, read it as the next character.
yeah. I will also say, like, okay. And then I guess the other main thing that needs to get brought up when talking about the game is probably the balancing. Because I feel, I don't know about you guys, but I started with Rowlet.
I did too.
And actually, like, getting started in the first route, I found a little difficult. I don't know
Yeah,
if you-
definitely.
yeah?
Like
Okay.
with all of those ice types and a quad ice
Dude.
weakness, I'm just
Dude.
like, oh, I guess this is supposed to be hard mode, but like, geez.
yeah. That was kind of like, I think the biggest point that I want to bring up, because like it's an easy thing to fix, just like change the grammar, and then like your dialogue honestly is like very, very good.
Yes.
I think this game is heavily balanced in favor of the water starter, and it's not even close. And luckily I picked Mudkip, so I did not have
Wow, you lucked out then.
problems. I did luck out. I mean, I also cheesed the bosses, but
Ooh, the bosses.
we won't get into that. I just felt like overall, like, yeah, sure, maybe the fire type's better for the ice section, but you as a water type still resist the ice stab. And then when it gets to the point where you get to the bosses, you like the water type is super effective against both boss battles in this game, and like that's not the same with the other types. So
Well, I guess,
because of
like-
that, I think that like the game's very balanced in favor of water types, which isn't a problem, but I don't actually know what kind of encounters you can get from fishing. You are given a fishing rod, I just don't know if there's good encounters or not.
Well, so what I would
Yeah, I
suggest
didn't
then
finish
is
yet.
like I feel like this is a game that doesn't need 3 starters to choose from. In my opinion. So I feel like an easy band-aid fix would be to get that you are just given a water type Pokemon at the beginning of the game. That'd be the easiest solution if you
Maybe,
don't want to
yeah.
like rebalance the early areas.
Yeah,
Because it
but
also is, yeah.
it was definitely rough getting that start because like, oof.
It was, I was able to like capture one Pokemon from that route, and that's like the way I was able to like continue through the game. Because I was just getting one hit from basically everything, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I just had to. What was my first Pokemon? Because, like, my first priority was I have to catch something that's going to at least, like, tolerate these all of these ice types that are going on around here. And it definitely had me on edge at the from the get-go. Had me a little on edge. And it was interesting getting an. I remember the dev telling me that for balancing purposes, keep the first route balanced. That's why you get, like, if you check your PC at the very beginning, you get a regular EXP share where it's it's a hold item.
Well,
But
I
then
didn't
you
get
not
that
just have an
EXP share
EXP?
until I got to the school.
Yeah,
but
can
then
you
you
not?
get the EXP all later on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you just
And
get
I
an
was
EXP all
so
at the beginning?
No.
Yeah, like a little bit after you do.
Well, yeah.
But
Yeah, you
after
do.
you've
just
gone
don't-
through the first route, and that was a choice.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
get the gameplay decision there of like giving it later.
That was a
But I mean,
choice.
overall, I'd say like in this game, it feels. I don't know how to put it other than like a little weird to criticize because I feel like the hard stuff that I see other games I don't like as much is what this game does really well. And that's why, like, still overall, even though there were problems when it comes like balancing, grammar, and the mapping could have been better, I still
thought the
enjoyed
mapping
my
was,
time playing
was
it.
pretty good. I think my
Yeah.
issue with the mapping is that I think the maps are large, like there's a large city and then a long ass route and then a large city. Like, I think if you broke them up into more manageable chunks, it would be better. But I think, like, technically from a mapping perspective, it was pretty good.
I know, it's been a while
Definitely
since I
good
played it,
and
so I don't
dynamic
remember
maps
it much.
where it's not all one giant open field or
Well, yeah.
a hallway forest or something. Like,
I agree
good,
with that.
Good maps that have a good bit of diversity. Like, I'm scrolling through my stream and seeing, like, there's the path, but then there's also, like, just a patch of grass right here that, like, the two paths converge to the bridge, but then there's still that grass, and then there's all the trees around, and it's not one note, and that's something that I have a bit of a pet peeve with some games that I don't really bring it up that much, but it's still just like it's just one of those minor things. But this one is, like, dynamic to me.
I think mainly when I think of like mapping and what I had a problem with was like, okay, do you remember like the ruins area near the end?
Yeah.
Almost. That's where I thought some of the mapping was a little, which they've also changed it apparently since the jam version
I see. I didn't have any problems
to
with
make
that.
it better. Let me walk through it again. I think it was just,
I may have also played an updated version. I don't know.
I know
maybe.
the version that I was playing was an update.
But, like, I'm gonna
I-
I'm gonna echo Andy's sentiment, though. I feel like this game is like very close to being like the vision that the developer wants, and I think it's very close to being a really good game. There's just like
Mhm.
like polish issues here and there that I think, with a few patches, a few bug fixes, like this game is gonna be really good, and I cannot wait
Yeah.
to
Oh,
see
yeah.
more. I feel invested in the characters, and I want to see how everything plays out.
Yeah.
They've set up this like really cool. I guess I don't really want to get into it too much to spoil Eevee, but like really cool like chip on your shoulder type of thing that I want to see really explored some more.
Yeah, but I think now that you guys have played it, you guys can see what I meant now, but the story feels very, like, anime.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Especially mom's some sort of like secret agent, and then you've got your main whatever you want to call her, with a name that I shall not say. She's so tsundere that I want to throw up. Like, all of the other characters, great. I haven't had a single problem with how any other characters are written. This looks like you read a textbook on tsundere 098, not 101 where you actually get credit for it. 098 remedial how to write a tsundere. That's what we got with this character, and that is like, as much as like I'm not going to bash on the character at all. That's just how it felt to me, was very like very not my cup of tea, kind of, is the best way to say it. Not my cup of tea. Like, I don't care for tsunderes also. Like,
How dare you?
I'm not a tsundere.
Don't-
I like,
Don't you love people who just lie to you constantly about their feelings and are just not upfront at all? Sounds like the dream, man.
see, I mean, they're okay,
No, I'm being mostly sarcastic.
but granted, I'm also like kind of a sucker for yanderes.
What?
Like, what
Okay, that's
better way-
Eevee.
what
How can you
better
look
way-
at
what better
tsunderes
way
and be...
to show what better way to show how much you love me than kill someone, remove them from being a possibility of being in your way, from being
Because
with me.
they're a fucking psychopath is why.
Yeah.
How do you look at, like, tsunderes and be like, oh, they're annoying, they're weird. Oh, but people who will kill people, murderers, yeah, they're my cup of tea.
Yeah, because that is a declaration of love.
Hey, what I'm hearing here is everybody has a type. Some people want someone who looks like they could ruin their life, and some people want an emotional manipulator, and some people don't want either of those.
Most people don't want either of those, I feel. I don't know, apparently I ask for too much. I just want a girl who is mostly, like, upfront about their feelings and not a psychopath.
Well, with a yandere, you at least get one of those.
I like both. 50% is not passing Eevee. I would know, I have 97s in most of my classes. When I look at 50% and go, ah yes, I would meet the qualifications. I can be a mechanic engineer after getting 50% in my mechanic engineering class.
Yeah, they don't even let you become a nurse without at least 75%. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
I made a 74.
You weren't supposed to ask.
I flunked out of nursing school with a 74.
I mean,
Point
hey,
two.
you're here now.
Yeah, where's my bachelor's degree in nursing?
It's
not on my wall.
Anyway. But yeah, Supernova has promise. I'm interested to see
It does.
where it goes from here. And I don't have much else to talk about this episode unless you guys do.
Nope.
Gotta make my obligatory. Hey guys, don't forget, by the way, May 23rd at 8 p.m. EST, my 2.0 debut. And if you're looking on screen, it's the full design, no shade, just straight up the full design. And if you've been watching with your eyeballs, you might have seen something else a little funny on my screen. Go back and rewatch this episode at least 3 times.
Oh.
Increase that view count.
Thank you, Eevee. But yeah, so thank you everybody for watching. I don't know what game we're gonna play next. We'll decide that for next time. But overall, so far I've been enjoying the Insert Name Gem games, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.